Welcome to Pili,
Raúl
and La Música,
supported by
United Airlines,
Shure Microphones,
and Jack Daniels. For more information, follow us at Pili, Raúl and La Música.
This is a band from Monterrey, Mexico. 5 super cool, talented human beings. We have 4 of them. We're missing Omar, the drummer. But he did send me a message, and I'm not kidding. And he said, por favor, discúlpame ante el público. Omar wanted to be here, but he can't. He's back in Mexico. But we have the other 4 kinkies. That counts for something, right? Yeah? This band has been together for almost 20 years. I would say they're one of the most important electronic rock bands in our language, Español, if you guys hadn't noticed. And they're pretty awesome, and they're in everyone's playlist. If you're, wait, they're coming. Look at them. Look at that swag.
Ulises, Gil, Cesar, and Carlos of the band Kinky.
Give it up for Kinky.
Bienvenidos, chicos. Salud. So we're talking about like this band out of Mexico, out of Monterrey. And, you know, there's a Latin alternative music conference that happens in New York. In 2019, it was their 20th anniversary. And every year they do a Discovery Award recipient, which is a band that's going to be like doing bigger and better things. And for LAMC number 1, the Discovery Award recipient was Kinky. Yeah. So please give it up. Que se escuche para el grupo Kinky.
Yeah, it was weird because we didn't even know that we were
Nominated?
I mean, somebody else submitted our demo for us. So this was Toy Machete from Control Machete, sorry, and he submitted the demo for us, and I was like trying to finish the university. Ulises has some days with hepatitis, so he was like laying down on the bed. And the other guys were just unemployed.
Well, I'm glad you gave them a job. that's really, really kind of you.
Yo en ese entonces me encantaba, bueno, me cagaba a mí mucho ir a la pinche escuela, ¿no? Bastante, y luego pues llegaron estos vatos y ya me sacaron. Y fui muy feliz. Y aquí sigo.
Y aquí seguimos.
But who would have thought, like 20 years later, you would have still been together and still winning and being nominated and still entertaining an audience? I mean, these are 5 guys who have 5 completely different tastes in music. As you can tell, they dress differently. It's 5 different egos. Right? ¿Verdad? How do you...
Mine is bigger.
At least he knows the truth. How do you guys keep it together?
I believe it's because of the music, actually. And a lot of it is because we try to experiment and not get bored about just doing the same song over and over. I mean, we have our failures as well, but we try to shoot to different places and be influenced by new music. We try to focus or to see the younger people, what are they doing, and we actually pay more attention to that than to the classic or to the trying to be the same guys pushing the same stuff, no? So I guess that helps a lot. And yeah, and also like respect each other a lot. We love each other a lot. We have been in many different adventures together, so it's kind of the family that you choose.
Ah, qué bonito.
¿Verdad? Qué bonito.
Wait.
Qué bonito.
3, 2, 1. Ah.
It's true, es verdad. But you weren't at the backstage. We were fighting already. So
Good. Like brothers
we
should.
just keep it together here.
Okay.
Backstage
I
is
want to know
crazy.
what
No,
you
I'm
were,
kidding.
I know.
What were you
you
fighting
guys
about?
No, I'm
who
kidding.
had the salmon and who had the fish?
Yeah,
That's my French fry.
Yeah, with my French fries. No,
So,
I'm kidding.
okay, let's go back a little bit. The name Kinky. Why and how did it come about? Where did it start?
Are we going that
Let's go
that
back to way back. ¿Por qué el nombre Kinky?
No, it was just like a weird story about that. I mean, at that time we were Carlos, Gil, and I. We kind of started the band together. We were the first 3 members of the band, and we were actually experimenting. Like he was saying, the idea of Kinky was everybody had their own different bands before. We were always trying to get a record deal or trying to achieve like some industry kind of status or something, going to different labels and stuff. So we weren't making it on those specific bands
because it was the year 1999 2000, so no even MySpace existed. So you have to reach to the big companies. That's why.
Wow.
That's why.
that was the idea, to try to reach.
We gotta
Wait,
acknowledge
yeah.
a wow from the audience.
Yeah.
Are you 10?
Yeah, right.
But what I mean is, it was more difficult to reach to the companies because now you can upload your stuff and
Right.
getting to be known. And that time you have to record your little demo and get it hand by hand to these people or to this guy or to this DJ or to this radio station in order to achieve the status that he was talking about.
So that was the idea. We were all in different bands, and we kind of got together, but with the mentality of not focusing on one specific style of music. We had like rock bands or electronic bands or norteño or regional bands, whatever. We were like, okay, let's do this project as a free project, not thinking about any like specific idea, or just get a place to have fun and experiment and really experiment with different sounds. So I was able to present my background, the things that I like, with the cumbia, the norteño, but I also like electronica and stuff like that. Also, he brought his rock or his alternative trip hop that he was listening at that time, and Carlos brought all his influences from disco and all this music. Cesar from his also background from norteño, regional music and stuff. So everybody could be their what they are really, and so that's how Kinky kind of started experimenting with all of that, and came this weird music that we were doing, like Corman at the beginning, which was the norteño, electrónica, cumbia, el son de mi primer amor, all those weird combinations that we were doing at that time. But before that, we were experimenting, and suddenly I got an offer to do a show in one small venue, and we worked together and said we need a name for the band. So we were
by this time you were nameless.
Yeah, we were nameless. We were just
because
experimenting.
the project was just 1 week old.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we were like, okay, let's think about that. So we got the show, and then I was reading this photography magazine, and it was a really interesting picture.
Did it start with a P and end with a Y?
No.
Did it start with a P and end with an E?
Kind of.
I mean, kind of. It was weird because it was a photograph, like pictures for all over the world, like international kind of that. But they had this picture of a girl like in a bathroom, and you could see her like she was taking a piss. But actually, when you look really good at the picture, you see that there's like a guy here. So she was not taking a piss. She was having a moment.
A really good time.
She was having a really good time, and my first like reaction was to that's very kinky. And then I was like, okay, yeah, I think that could be the name. So I came back to the guys and I said like, hey, okay, we have this show like 2 days from now. Let's put it Kinky for now. And they were like, okay, let's do that.
Wait, so you all agreed to it?
But we had 2 days to.
It wasn't the name. I mean, it wasn't like that was the name. It was like, oh, that's cool, and then that was the name.
So now you know if you have a band.
And then we appropriate it and give it a meaning. But Kinky is about like pushing the boundaries, even if it's in sex or in other stuff. So we try to do kinky music. Is like, okay, let's get this cumbia or this bossa nova and push the boundaries about that genre.
I like that, and being creative and testing different things out. And
at that time, like when we started doing this, it was like in 2000, it was very like weird to hear like a cumbia with with these electronic elements and guitars, and it was like people were like, "What is this? This is like a cumbia. Should we play this in a regional radio station, or should be played on a pop radio station, or should it be like an electronic radio station?" They were like, "Or where should we play your CD? Are you regional? Are you electronic? Are you alternative? Where are you?" We were like, "I don't know."
So they couldn't really pigeonhole you, but did you feel like you got acceptance right away, or did it take you?
I
guys
think
some time?
people were really into it. I mean, they like it, but didn't know how to classify it. They were like, "I like it," and people. Our first album was the album that got us like launched pretty good to like.
The live shows were really great from the beginning, the vibe, because it was just festive and the people got into it, and then interested by the performance of the drummer and all. Like, these guys are like virtuosos, but me. But the radio situation was complicated.
Well, I know here in LA, obviously KCRW immediately gravitated to you guys, and I know in Mexico, I mean, you guys were like different styles. And did you guys know right away like this was like the perfect mix for you guys?
Of course not.
No.
I think we were trying to achieve more the electronic kind of vibe, and suddenly somebody wants to try this and that, and we were trying to focus on getting more into the Mexican Chemical Brothers, something like that. But then I remember it was with the Sound de Mi Primer Amor. That was that maybe like the 5th, 6th song that we did as a group. And at the beginning, I was like, "Oh man, this shit is kind of weird. I don't know if in my mentality of the Chemical Brothers works." And suddenly everybody said like, "Okay, let's just open the doors to whatever genre and instrument comes along." And then we got crazy about that.
Well, I know the Chemical Brothers themselves would say the same thing. We were doing some weird, crazy shit, so it makes sense that you guys are kind of following in the footstep.
Yeah, and actually also something that was very interesting is that when at that time, in the early 2000s, there was this DJ boom as well. It was the time of like all these big names of DJs that right now are like the grandpas or all these.
The grandpas.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, it was like
because at the beginning,
Sasha and Digweed.
Sasha and Digweed. But for us, it was like, okay, we're gonna be a band, a music that DJs perform or play, but we're gonna do it live. So that was kind of like our mentality at that time. Like, we're playing dance music, but we're doing it live. So that's kind of our plus or our twist to this equation of being like a DJ, but we were performing the songs live with drums and bass and keyboards and accordion, everything, but we wanted to present like a dance band, not a rock band. It was the formation is like a rock band, but the music is dance music. So that also, I think it was something that was capturing the attention of a lot of people, because they were saying, okay, this is cool because it's not just a DJ, it's a band, but it's music that I can dance to.
And I think one of the most pivotal songs of Kinky is Mas. Do you guys know Mas? Yes. Right? At least that was the song that like put Kinky in my music map. Do you guys remember when you heard it for the first time, or when you realized, oh, this is big?
No, actually, that song was not gonna be even in the album.
What?
No, like our producer was like, "What is that? That's like nothing." And we were like, I mean, people like it, and when we perform it live, they groove on it, and we were like, yeah, but it's nothing. It's just like something is repeating all the time. And we were like, but then we need to fill that space on the album. So we were like, okay, just put it there.
Wait, so Mas was a filler?
Yeah, it's a filler.
Wow.
Well, for that producer, but for us, it was like.
Well, who's the producer? I want to know.
Chris
You
Allison.
know Chris Allison.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to call Chris in a little bit and say, like, dude, come on now.
No, actually,
no.
Chris was great because he has this really wide ear. That he was a producer for early Coldplay.
Yeah.
So he
The
produced
Beta Band.
a couple of
Yeah.
their tracks, Beta Band, and we love the wide vision that he has. And he started to come to Mexico because he was working with Plastilina Mosh, and that's how he got our cassette demo.
Well, yeah, you guys had like kind of this crew, this genre of music that was coming out of like the mid '90s. What was that called?
Avanzada Regia.
Regia,
Regia.
regia.
So
Regia comes from king, and because Monterrey, and that's how we call Regio Montanos, no? It's combination between El Monte y El Rey.
So that was like Plastilina Mosh, Contra el Machete, and you guys?
Yeah. El Gran No, we were actually late Avanzada Regia. Because Avanzada Regia started like in mid-90s, like 95 or 94, with Plastilina Mosh, Control Machete, El Gran Silencio, Zurdog, Jumbo, all those bands.
Panda.
And yeah, Panda. Actually, Panda was more at the end. Yeah, more towards our time, which was more 2000, which was like the last kind of bands that came out of that specific time.
That batch.
Yeah.
So talking about producers, you guys produce a lot of your work. You produce most of your work and then you kind of like invite an external producer. How do you pick your producers, and when it's not working in the studio, how do you deal with that like shift in energy so it doesn't transfer into your music?
Well, people that we admire mostly. One of my favorite was working with John King, and he's part of the Dust Brothers. Actually, the Chemical Brothers wanted to use Dust Brothers, and they didn't let them. So that's why they ended up calling themselves the Chemical Brothers.
Right.
No, but these guys are just a couple of producers, and they blew up with the Paul's Boutique album. They produce the Wall of Sound and all that sampling and just
From the Beastie Boys.
from the Beastie Boys. And then they did Beck, Odelay, and that's when they really got huge. And they did everything, no, from Mbop, the handsome, to music from video games, and this like really wide stuff. But we ended up like working with John King, and it was like a different and really weird process.
So did you guys reach out to him, or he reached out to you guys?
I don't know.
It was like a combination because he knew about us, and they told us like, oh, John King, he likes your music and stuff. We were like, oh yeah, we know John King is from the Dust Brothers, but he could be expensive producer. He's very like a top producer. He just did like Güero with Beck. That was around that time, and he was really doing very well. So, but he was really into the idea of working with us. And the album we produced with him is El Sueño de la Máquina, when we had the songs like El Intoxícame or Después del After. That's the album we worked with him. So it was very, like he was saying, very
It
interesting.
ended up being one of the weirdest.
Yeah.
In
Not
what
in
way?
a good way.
Please
Not in
share.
a good way.
It
Because
took
we like weird.
like a year to produce that album.
Yeah.
It took a long time to produce that album. I mean, he was saying that this guy is about the wall of sounds. So he invited us to his studio for days and days and days, and he just kept us playing like, oh, play like 2 hours playing, like, dude, come on. I mean, what I mean, he's doing a stock for himself of stuff for like from us, and Cesar was there like days and days just doing bass lines and stuff, and everybody.
Era muy batalloso ese hombre, ¿no? Y era, llegar de
There you
cuenta
go.
como a la 1 de la tarde más o menos, y darle una rola, pues. O sea, una rola y una rola eran un chingo de horas. Y yo ya estaba ya bien desesperado, decía, oye, haz de cuenta como el de Guns N' Roses, haz de cuenta, pinche disco de años, ¿no? Y así estuvo, pero bien. Me gustó como quiera estar con él.
See, but as a band, when you're in the studio with a producer like that you like their work, but you've never worked with them before, yet you're trusting them and you're paying them shitload of money, and you're there like, is this working? I've been playing this song for the past 3 days. What's
3
happening?
months.
3 months. There you go. Like, how do you trust the process?
Yeah, but that's how it is. Sometimes it comes in 1 hour and the song is a hit like Mass, and sometimes you just spend like 10 years doing it and it doesn't work. But it's like that, no? Sometimes the magic comes, and sometimes you have to look for the magic.
talking about different producers, you guys have also worked with a bunch of remixers, like Toy from Control Machete. There's the Toy Selecta mix of Mas. There's a Bostich remix of Son de Mi Primer Amor, which is Bostich of Norte Collective. And there's a 12-inch single floating around here of Corn Man that has a Static Revenger remix.
We met one of
So
one of our favorite producers also is Money Mark.
Money Mark,
and
who's worked with
met
Beastie
him.
Boys
We
and
met
so
him
many other
because of remix that he did for us first.
Presidente.
what I'm kind of getting to is that there's this kind of like cool crew of people trying to help each other. And just like Toy was trying to get Control Machete really going and all this Toy Selecta stuff going and trying to help you guys and you guys helping them. And same thing with Norte Collective. It seems like this kind of like unity amongst all your bands and DJs and producers in Mexico and in Monterrey.
Of course.
Yeah. It was like that. It was very about helping each other and supporting each other's project. So everybody attended to the concerts of like our friends, in Monterrey, in El Barrio Antiguo.
And there was a particular sound coming out of that.
Yeah,
area
it was
too.
a particular sound, but every band has
I don't think so.
its own different sound.
Really?
No, I think there's no particularity in the sound of Monterrey.
You don't think?
No.
Okay.
No,
I mean, every single band is so different between each other. I don't know why. That we remember in Mexico City there was about the ska. In Guadalajara was about Maná. But in Monterrey everybody wanted to do different stuff, and I think that's the particularity of Monterrey, is that we don't have any particular sound.
That's cool. Yeah. And even with all the different sounds, everybody had each other's back. There wasn't like this friendly competition or anything like that. It was like, no, apoyo para todos, no?
Eso sí.
Yeah. That was what we're talking about. Yeah, people. I mean, all our the scene was supporting everybody. Like even though that we were doing electronic music, we attended the rock shows, or we attended the hip hop shows, or we attended the electronic shows, or the electronic bands, or the hip hop acts. So we were always each other supporting each other's project.
I think the key is that the scene was built just by musicians and not promoters. So the vision and the festivals and the little gatherings and everything was made by the same musicians that tried to book this venue, and they invite more bands. So I think that's gotta say a lot in creating that scene, that everybody were friends.
I want to interrupt for a bit. I see people that if you guys want to get closer, you can get closer.
This has been the one with the most RSVPs of all the podcasts that we've been doing so far. And it's because of Kinky.
Yeah, we're only supposed to have like 50 people here. And I went to the door girl and I'm like, so how many people do we have? She's like 102. And I'm like, Jose, don't freak out. It's okay. We're okay. We're okay.
Is there enough Jack Daniels? That's the important question.
So almost 20 years of being a solid band. It's incredible that in those 20 years, you guys haven't really exchanged or moved around band members. Because, sometimes you lose them que se van por un lado, se van con otra banda, whatever. You guys haven't done that. But is the hustle still part of your journey?
I guess so, yes. I mean, because we never became like mainstream band, so it's been tours where, you came to LA and play here in the Hollywood Bowl, and then you go to Albuquerque in a Monday, and there's like 40 people in the audience, and
of which 10 are the bartenders.
Exactly. So I guess yes. We like to perform a lot, so we look for it, and we risk. Sometimes if you go to Ecuador or Bolivia or places that you don't even know if the people listens to you there, and sometimes you get like great response, or you get amazed of the size of the venue, whatever. But sometimes you perform just in a small bar, and we still love that black and white situation where you can still feel something nervous,
Right, it keeps you humble. Actually, and I like the fact that you each have your own project. Ulises works with a lot of other really cool genres and artists that are coming up. Have you guys heard of Tomasa de Real? I know my friend Tanya is here. She has it on her playlist, and I called her the other day, and I'm like, I'm listening to your playlist, and you have Tomasa de Real? She's like, yeah, I love her. I'm like, yeah, we just interviewed her for Pili, Raul and La Música. But, and then you have your own production company now. Like, you're doing videos and concert production for other bands. How do those external projects add to Kinky?
And you can't forget about Cesar throwing out the first pitch at the Padres
sí,
game.
también.
Oh, yeah.
A mí me encanta el béisbol y yo de eso vivo también.
He wanted to wear a Dodgers hat on Petco Field, which is pretty impressive.
Go blue.
That would have been freaking cool, right? Go
Bleed blue. Todos los días.
So, pitcher, Neo Perreo movement, productions, you guys got all kinds of stuff going.
No, yeah. For us, actually, we like that. I mean, that we can go out and learn from other styles, other people, other musicians, other even though it doesn't have to do with music. I mean, it could be with baseball. I mean, we are reaching to everything, or like he was saying, he's running with his company of videos and all of that. So for us, it's everything that we do outside just gets kinky better, because we are all growing and we are learning. So I think everything that we can do aside also gives us that little space on our own to kind of get a little bit of away from kinky to get a better perspective and then come back with new stuff,
So that's more like you challenging yourselves in other ways and how that helps Kinky. And talking about challenges, one of the most iconic albums from Kinky is their Unplugged. And you guys really challenged yourself because it was an Unplugged for an electronic, like heavy electronic band. What did you guys learn from that experience, and how has that transferred into the after Unplugged Kinky?
That was a pain in the ass.
It was a pain in the ass, yes.
I didn't want to do the Unplugged, but at the end we did it, and we try to synthesize our world in that instrumentation, like do we put strings on it? Do we put like 5 times the percussion? So it was a lot of questions like that, like kind of like conceptualizing. A lot of time we spent on that, and at the end of the day, I think it was like recreating. Even our own songs were like reinvented in a way, and we even like had like 5 or 4 songs that were totally new. So it was kind of like a record. It wasn't just like grabbing the guitar and like doing the same songs with the same chords. It was a whole reinvention of the songs on and new songs. It was, at the end of the day, it was a good experience, Yes.
And you didn't want to do it at first because it was going to be too difficult, or por qué?
I didn't want to leave that punch, I didn't want to leave the electronic world. But we did it, and it was kind of interesting. I
mean, it was great.
Yeah,
I mean, that just goes to show, like, you push somebody to the limits, and they're going to break through that, and that's what you guys have been doing for 20 years.
Yeah.
So Hill has said, this is quote unquote, "Cuando mis compañeros no le gustan mis ideas, sé que tengo una idea buena." Let me translate that so people understand. So when he said, quote unquote, "When my band members don't like one of my ideas, I know it's a good idea."
El ego siempre.
Dale, César.
Yeah, the biggest.
It's
El ego del cantante.
that's how you
that's important.
El ego del pinche cantante siempre va a
this
ser
is-
eso.
this is-
Siempre es el pinche cantante. es el
And the
que
truth
manda.
comes out.
Es el guapo, es el que se viste
When there's
bien.
an interesting
es el que
idea.
recibe más pinches billetes. Es el que tiene mejor carro, mejor novia, o sea, amante, todo.
Ya se puso.
O sea, aquí estamos
No, it's just
aquí
Mejores
atrás.
ideas también.
keep.
So this has become a roast on Heel, everybody.
Yeah, let's start a roast here.
Es
No,
un
I think it's
Don't get nervous. Look at he's sweating.
no, it's a good positive way of thinking. You know?
When an idea that everybody doesn't like survives, it's because it's a breakthrough idea.
Right.
It's because you have to. It's something that is not on the mind or it doesn't exist yet. So that's why it's not like I want to do just to piss off these guys. If there's an idea that somehow is uncomfortable to someone, it's because it's getting away from the common ideas.
Yep.
And if that idea can survive, with your speech or with your incesty or, just the other people understand it, is because it's a good idea that sounded different at the beginning, but puts you in another place.
Well, change is hard, and whenever that's like imposed on you, you have to break through. So that's really change means growth. So that's cool.
Is there a specific song that you were like, this is going to be amazing, trust me, and none of them backed you up, but they stuck to it and it became a hit?
I remember when I used the word after in the song, it was like, hey, come on, it's kind of weird. It's okay, laughter. Trust me.
Trust.
And now you guys know la canción después del after.
Yes.
Yeah.
Más o menos.
No, y ahora es una palabra común y corriente, pero
Yeah.
en aquel entonces era como, pues no era una palabra
Wait, so
tan común.
are you saying that now el after is because you put it out there?
Maybe. All right, we'll give you credit. Yay! This was the laughter courtesy. No, that's cool. I mean, and going back and forth with the names and the genres and the styles and the language. I mean, you guys lived for a long time in Monterrey, but then you guys also lived in L.A. And
Yes.
how was L.A. like the influence into the music that Kinky was making at that time?
A lot as well. I think California is kinky music.
Because pretty much you guys were Angelinos.
Yes. And because Los Angeles is that mixture. It's the mixture of the culture that we somehow aspire to, to the Anglo music and the big producers and, the musical instrument stores and, how is Hollywood, no? With all the music culture and all the clubs and all the scene that has been here forever and created like amazing sounds and amazing songs and amazing artists. So somehow you see from Monterrey or from Mexico, you look up to it, but at the same time you have the authenticity of Mexican flavors and a lot of Mexican culture. You have the Spanish, the Spanglish that we used to use a lot because we live close to Texas. You have, I don't know, even I think sometimes here the people is more Mexican than in Mexico, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, you go to see. Well, you used to go to see Jenny Rivera or Bronco, and you see like they feel like huge arenas, and the Mexican culture here is really alive.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, you can go from seeing Ramon Ayala one night to going to go see Maná another night to Kinky another night, and then to like some crazy DJs another night. So
Yeah, we
that's what LA is
were
about.
hearing that Maná is doing like 7 forums. I
Yeah,
mean, we don't like
7
Maná that
nights.
much, but but you have to acknowledge that it's a great accomplishment. No?
I think that's like the common thread here. On every podcast we've done here, they've always ripped on Maná.
Including me. And at the same time, I'm like, Raul, when are we going to interview Maná?
Yeah.
But I will enjoy
You
a
wanna-
Maná concert because I know all the songs.
Claro.
Yeah, it's a big sing-along, just like it is to you guys now, So everybody's singing along to Masi, 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 Después del Laughter, and, Línea de Luz. So congratulations, guys. Give it up for Kinky,
Give it up for
everybody.
Kinky. So we have this special segment called Jack Daniel's Room No.7 7 questions that we ask all of our guests. And this is like rapid fire. So we're going to ask you a question. Don't think about it too much.
Sex.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't have to think about that at all. It's like sex. Okay. Okay. What is your pre-show ritual?
It's just a couple of drinks and mingling with the guys.
Like we're just nervous that everything will work at that time because the kinky shows that sometimes have a lot of like technology. Yeah, not difficult, but a lot of technology involved. Like we like that the shows, mostly in Mexico, the screen in the back that matches and goes sync with the music, and the lights are connected via MIDI to they also move with the music, and also these cubes that we bring in Mexico show. So everything is we just pray that works that day. That's our ritual before the show. Gil and I just pray that it works.
So you still get nervous.
Yo sí.
¿Sí?
Sí.
O sea, a mí, si haz de cuenta que, sí, exactamente. O sea, me dan, o sea, ascos, chingo de ascos, ¿no? Me dan
¿De
muchas
veras?
ganas, haz de cuenta, para ir a hacer del 2 también. Un chingo de cosas así al mismo tiempo, ¿no? Eso quiere decir que va a ser un muy buen show, ¿verdad, güey? ¿Es en serio?
Sí. Cuando mi compadre se empieza como a querer vomitar, es que
O sea,
gonna
es que
be
va
a
a
good
estar bueno el
show.
evento. Así, pues así como un pinche brujo hechicero.
So basically,
brujo.
if Cesar needs to go
Either
number
throw
2
up
to
or
the
number
bathroom.
Number 1 is gonna be a show, okay.
Okay.
Number
Más o
2,
menos.
crazy.
Y con
Throw
el vómito
up.
y la náusea.
Yeah, throw up, like massive, yeah.
Okay. La segunda pregunta, okay? If you weren't a musician, what would you be?
Ya sabes.
Yo
¿qué
ya sé.
sería?
Explica, por favor.
Baseball.
Beisbolista,
Ajá. Carlos,
baseball player.
I would be a
Bateando con la
tornado
zurda.
chaser.
a tornado chaser.
Yeah, I love it.
Wow, cool.
¿Y tú?
Ulises.
I think a stuntman. I like that. Yeah. I like adrenaline and action.
Yo quería ser pintor. al principio.
Pintor. Nice.
De casas. ¿no?
I think that's the first time we've heard any of those responses.
What was the first album you bought?
El mío era Twisted Sister. I got the vinyl, and my mom got like, what the fuck is this? Because if you guys don't know the cover of the album, it's like these guys looking like girls, like with a lot of makeup and like dressed with leather, and with a big femur of a Tyrannosaurus, I don't know, and just screaming. So I was 5 or 6 year old when I got it. So my mom got really scared about my life choices.
Oh, no, mijo, no, por favor.
For me, it was El Piporro. It's a guy from Monterrey, actually. And that was, my father gave me this a turntable, and the only vinyl he was able to get was El Piporro. So I was just
Classic.
all day listening to El Taconazo. I would listen to El Taconazo, Rosita Alvidres, like all day.
Yo creo que el mío fue Ramón Ayala. Que me regalaron, ¿verdad? Pues yo como chingón iba a comprar eso, pues. Hace muchos años.
Carlos.
I remember the first album I stole with a couple of cousins in Mexico. Was a Rush album, a live album.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, yeah, immediate love.
Yeah, we should mention that. You don't have to buy it. It could be a gift, or you could have stolen it. It's all good.
Yeah, whatever.
It all works.
What has always been your musical crush? And this could be because you admire them physically or you admire them instrumentally or musically. So it could be a girl or a guy. ¿Te gusta? ¿Aprendiste de esa persona? ¿Es tu ídolo? ¿Tu ídola?
One of my favorites is 3D from Massive Attack. That was the album that switched for me between being a rocker and trying to be more electronic. And then when I realized that he was like Banksy and that shit, it was like more mind-blowing as well. Because he was just the coolest
Just so you're
guy
there.
in the music and then in the art scene.
Now, we should mention that's just a rumor, not confirmed.
It's a theory.
It's a theory, yes. I saw Carlos at Massive
We
Attack.
saw each other
so,
like 2 weeks
yeah.
ago or something like that.
So, musical crush.
Man, that's tough.
I know.
But I admire, like, I think Charlie XCX is one of my musical crutches because I think like she really does something towards like what's gonna happen in the future. I don't know. I just like what she does.
That was
Yeah.
unexpected. That's cool.
Oh yeah, you guys are so like
Es muy difícil
Cool.
esa pregunta. Sí, ya sé, ¿no?
like finding cool. Like
Ulises is going to say Mickey Mouse.
no. I mean you were right with Mickey, but it was Luis Miguel, man.
Hey.
I love Luis Miguel, man. For me, it was like big crush. I mean, I'm not afraid to say it, but
No.
I mean, I mean, he's handsome as well.
Very handsome.
Well, not anymore like that, but yeah, at that time that I like. Yeah, back then was super hot, right? No, but I really enjoy a lot of Luis Miguel music at that time, yeah.
Cesar, you're not going to escape this.
No, ya sé, pues ya estoy pues ya bien atorado. Yo creo que fue, o sea, MC Hammer. Me gustó mucho.
Pick up the hammer.
Pero pues estaba hasta el tronco el vato. MC Hammer. Era Hammer Time, ¿no? Era. Hammer Time.
¿Te acuerdas el baile? Could you
A
please
ver.
demonstrate?
No me acuerdo de ese baile. ¿Por qué decir conmigo?
Come on, come on. I think they want to see it. Look
They
at him in,
do.
no?
They want to see the dance. You want to see the dance?
¿La música? ¿Dónde está la música? ¿Y la música? Necesito escuchar música.
No, I can sing it for like. Do you guys remember that song?
Do you
Pick
have?
up- no?
Do you have your pants?
You need the pants, bro.
Come on.
Ahí va.
You need
Ahí
the
va.
African pants.
Esa es, cuñado, bien.
Lo que le hacen hacer, güey. ¿Está bien? Ándale, ponte ahí va el pendejo.
Ay, ¿cuáles son los de ustedes dos? Queremos saber.
¿El mío?
Ajá.
Barry Manilow.
Oh.
He writes the songs.
Yeah. Pili.
Mi music crush, Bob Marley.
A ver, ¿cómo fumaba? Enséñanos.
Oye, I'm
Enséñanos
an
cómo
island
fumaba.
girl, okay? I'm from Puerto Rico. Jamaica's really close. So,
Yes.
yeah. Bob Marley, for sure.
That's a good one, yeah.
If you could time travel to a different musical era, which one would it be?
To the future.
To the
To
future.
the future. 39.
Very specific, Gil. I love it.
Yeah. I love
What
that
happens
era.
in 3039?
AI, how do you say it?
Artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence is going to take over, and obviously they are going to make better music than us.
Ulises?
Okay. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I like the idea of the future. Can I go with you too?
No, it's already taken.
Okay.
Yeah, just boost his ego a little more, because obviously that's what he needs.
Ego Man.
No, it's cool. ¿Tú, cuñado?
Pueden ir al
I
pasado
don't know.
también.
I mean,
It's all good.
No, I know. I'm just like I like a lot of the Doors times and stuff. So it could be around
Once
that
upon a time in Hollywood.
early
Yeah.
70s kind of.
That's a cool
Early
era.
70s.
Here
yeah.
in Sunset.
Yes. Yeah.
Cesar?
Actually, Ulises lives in Laurel Canyon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sí,
yeah,
there.
That area is famous for being
for the 70s music. Yeah.
Están bien difíciles las pinches preguntas esas, Ya, madre. Inteligentes, pero muy difíciles. Yo creo que sería como en los 60s.
¿Y eso?
La psicodelia, ¿no?
Eso.
¿Sí, no? ¿Sí era ahí?
Yeah.
O sea, ácido, droga, cocaína, todo eso. Gracias.
Esos que aplaudieron.
Carlitos?
I don't know. I love new wave 80s. I would just go there.
Yeah.
Go back to colors and shit, like pats on the shoulders.
Leg warmers, the whole thing. I'm an 80s girl. I get it. Okay. Oh, backstage anecdote. Give us like a really good backstage anecdote, and if you can name names, we love that.
There's a lot of poop involved.
I have a great one.
Go for it.
He has a great one. That means everybody else is not going to like it.
Yeah, that's scary.
We were in this festival
anécdota.
in Monterrey, en Pal Norte, yeah. And we were doing in that era some shows with the Tigres del Norte as well. So we sometimes we share the stage, but in that particular Pal Norte we perform around, let's say 9, and they had to perform at 1 in the morning, something like that. So always Monterrey is pretty complicated because not even just a bunch of friends always come and the backstage is filled with people and friends, but also the parents. So sometimes even the nephews and like people that you have to be well
You gotta
behaved.
limit some
Well
things.
behaved. So in that particular one, Los Tigres, they were kind of asked if I can perform with them one of their songs. And obviously I said yes. But then the time passes, and then I was like so anxious that my parents went away. And finally they did. So because there's a bunch of like really, really close friends. And they were having this chocolate with mushrooms. So once that they went out, like I we all ate it, and then hey, we were partying, and then like suddenly at 1 a.m, everybody was really crazy, and my manager came like, you have to come to the Norte and perform with them, and I was like, no, please, no, no, you have to. So they grabbed me and practically like throw me on stage.
Did they look like tigers?
And all my friends, all my friends were like just laughing her asses off in the side of the stage, and I had to perform, and it was like so crazy, and I was looking at big hats, and like these guys are like iconic, but they are also weird looking. They look like. They have the facelifts and the wigs and all that.
But Tigres, we love you, and we would love to have you guys on our podcast with Pili, Raúl and La Música. Don't listen to what he says.
So we were.
You look amazing.
I was performing and looking at this like bizarre world and like trying to remember the words and everything. And finally, I was done, and I was so relieved. And then like the Tigre Mayor. Come with me, and he said, ¿Nos echamos otra o qué?
And did you have to perform it?
I had to perform the other.
Hey, when a tigre asks,
Pinballs.
When the mayor tigre
But
asks.
the good thing is that if you don't know the words, you just say it at the end of each phrase, and you're gonna be okay.
And you survived!
Okay, so we got one last question. What is the biggest hit that Kinky has? El éxito más grande de Kinky. ¿Cuál será?
¿A dónde van los muertos?
Okay, okay. Yeah. So you guys are going to have 7 seconds to sing as much of the verse as possible. You ready? 7 segundos van a tener para cantar lo más posible de la canción. Ready?
Yeah.
You guys ready? Yeah. And 3, 2, 1.
Se van a dar la vuelta al mundo, el destino es vagabundo, se van volando como búhos a buscar lo más profundo. Quiéreme, que esto es absurdo, quiéreme.
Hey! That was really, really good. I think you might have a future in this, either. Yeah. Give it up for Kinky, everybody.
And because you guys are such an amazing audience and we love your attention, thank you for, being part of Pili, Raúl and La Música here at Jack Daniel's Room No.7. We're opening up the floor. It's your time to ask questions to Kinky. Does anybody have a question?
Hey,
Hi, my name's Melina. I actually did a project of you guys for college, and I tagged you guys. Yeah, I did a mini documentary.
Where is it?
Did you get an A?
I got a B. Can you believe that? The guy was like, "Who are they? Is it Kinky Friedman?" And I'm like, "No."
No.
My question is, what does Tachi Mari Pedon Kokongo mean? And am I summoning a devil when I'm singing along to Tachi Mari Pedon Kokongo?
Yeah.
Am I singing to the devil? Yeah. No.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
You maybe you're calling to your inner devil.
Oh wow.
Kinky wants you to bring that out.
Yeah, it means if you cut that actually came from a friend that got killed. So, but he used to be a super party boy, like to the extreme, and he did this combination naturally. We were like driving in Ciudad Juárez, and he was kind of hosting us. And he was telling us, no hombres, ando bien tachimaripedón cocongo a la verga. And then so if you cut the word in all the little stuff that it has, it's like tacha, marihuana, peda, coca y hongo. En paz descanse, Bobby.
I love that. Hi, everyone. I'm Liza Monet Morales. Un placer de verlos de nuevo. I had the honor of interviewing you back in the day when I had a show on LA TV, so it's so great to see you all. Hola, sí. I'd love to know who is a dream collaborator that you would love to collaborate, whether in English or Spanish, in terms of artists. ¿A quién les gustaría cantar, hacer un dueto, un álbum?
Pues Luis
Miguel, yeah. That would be my dream come true.
Hola, soy Fabiola. So hace 2 semanas, after 2 weeks ago, I think it's been 2 weeks, Camilo Sesto passed away, and his passing reminded me of the music that my family or my parents listened to. My parents son de Jalisco, México, y todos los domingos escuchábamos, veíamos la televisión siempre domingo. Entonces, my question to you is, what music did your parents listen to that still lingers in your musical playlist?
Luis Miguel. I swear to God.
No, actually, Camilo Sesto was some music that my mother used to listen a lot when I was young. So, yeah, Camilo Sesto, it was very good.
No, there's a lot of, I think if you sum everybody's, past influences, there's a lot of, I think everybody's parents listen to it. Chente, yeah, I mean, for example, my dad he had a lot of different kinds of music, from regional norteño music to psychedelic and disco and stuff like that. So I was born with, I grew up with all of that, so yeah.
Pues yo creo que acá en la casa, América puede ser. O sea, América, ¿tú sabes quién es América, no? América.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
America.
band America. I thought he meant like
a song.
Sí, mi mamá escuchaba puro como romántico. Mi papá como que no escuchaba tanta música y mi mamá era la que nos llevaba a todos lados, que a la escuela, al inglés, al nada. Entonces, en mi lista está Ricardo Montaner, José Luis Rodríguez el Puma. Ajá, sexy. Pero el que le encantaba más sí era Luis Miguel, por eso lo digo.
El sol. Anybody else?
El sol.
Hola chicos, yo me llamo Omar. A mí lo que más me gusta de ustedes son todas las covers que hacen. ¿Qué es lo que inspira a ustedes para hacer las diferentes covers y cuál ha sido la que más les ha gustado hacer?
By the way, they are huge fans of
Yeah, we they're family. We know them.
Adrián and Eddie
They're
are
family.
huge
They're
fans of Kinky.
Since day one.
Yeah.
Since day one.
Yeah.
20 years. 20 years.
Row one, day one, row one.
Row one,
Sí.
20 years.
Sí.
We love you. You know, we love you.
Sí, sabes que muchos de esos covers como que han sido encargados muchas veces por la gente que los hacen el tributo, y muchas veces they invite you to do a cover for their tribute album to themselves. But one that is my favorite and how came together, it was Coqueta. I think it was maybe one of the firsts, and just I don't know how the energy came in the studio. It was one of those tracks that it was done in one day, from beginning to end, to recording, to mixing, to everything. So that was one of my favorites.
So
Wait, give it up for Maz, my friend from South Africa.
Hi.
Who lives in London and moved to LA 4 days ago.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Maz, stand up.
So my question is that humanity is going through a lot of changes at the moment, and I think there's never been a better time to have a purpose than right now. And I'm interested to know or understand, how do you guys see your legacy today?
I think we from day one we focused on being fun, and sometimes we have all these problems in the world and this crisis in work, or you're just unhappy or depressed, and I think to bring just that antidepressive that is not an opioid but it's music, or it's a lyric, or it's just a moment of joy in a concert, that's where we are more proud of our legacy.
Hola. ¿Qué es una canción que siempre se les antoja? What's a song that you always crave? Like at any moment's notice, que, you know, like how you crave like a food at a random moment? Like what's a song that you crave?
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Esa es mi canción que más me gusta. Está bien, ¿no? Es la verdad.
Yeah, I really enjoy Rage Against the Machine always. Like loud.
Damn, sometimes it's just the Smiths or something like that. Yeah.
Uli?
No, I enjoy a lot of like really like Los Ángeles Azules, like those. Yeah. So when I have time, I like to listen to that, la cumbia. Yeah.
Yeah, this is Cesar. Your favorite current artists?
Cesar.
From like right now. Sus artistas favoritos
Luis
de
Miguel
ahorita.
is not.
De ahorita, de lo nuevo que hay en la música que les gusta.
I mean, I really love the last records of Chance the Rapper. Really good, yeah.
Uli, César.
Está muy cabrón las preguntas.
Grupos jóvenes.
Los grupos jóvenes ahorita en Monterrey, o sea, pues hay muchos ahorita acá regionales. Me gusta mucho una banda nueva que se llama Los Rojos, de Monterrey. Ahí sí los encargo para que lo escuchen, ¿va? Digo, si quieren, si no, pues... si les vale madre, ¿va? No los escuchen. Los Rojos.
Y de Monterrey yo también les recomiendo lo que se llama Clubs, que está muy padre como su approach musical. También son regios clubs.
Uli.
Ulises.
Yeah, I'm just in a lot of places. I like a lot of like current music, of urban music, but I also like a lot of like norteño or cumbias, and so it's difficult. But yeah,
You're all over the place.
No names specific.
All
No
right.
name specific names.
Give it up for Kinky, everyone!
Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate this. This has been a lot of fun.
Give it up for Raúl and Pili.
Give it up for you guys.
Gracias for checking out our podcast.
Hey, and special thanks to Ulises El Licenciado Lozano for our amazing theme song.
Our mix and recording engineer, Mario Diaz.
Our artistic director, Dak.
And can't forget about our sponsors, Pili.
No, Raúl, United Airlines, Shure Microphones, and Jack Daniels, gracias for supporting La Música Latina.
And for more information and other episodes, be sure to subscribe to our podcast at Pili, Raúl and La Música.
Hey, make sure to tell your tía, abuelo, primas, everybody to subscribe.
A todos.